Taylor, what was your game plan coming into this game facing this lineup, and how do you feel like you executed it?
I mean, game plan has never really changed. Just probably my biggest thing is trying to continue to come after these guys on attack like I do with everybody. And just trying to get ahead. I mean, this is a really good team. I mean, they got a really good lineup. So, definitely can't afford any mistakes against them. And I try to do my best to try to limit them. But, just try to somewhat impose my will and just try to just come after them.
You breezed through the first time through the order, second time kind of run into a little something there. But then the fact that you were able to contain it, how big is that for you, and to know that you didn't end there, you kept going?
It's huge. I think that's something I've always tried to work on as a starter. Was just trying to just, continue to impose my will on them and not try to ease up on them. But, I mean, just like I said, just trying to establish my stuff and trying to just come after these guys because, like I said, this is a really good lineup, and to do what I did today was huge.
How badly did you want that one last out? Yep.
I was so defeated. I was like, oh, man. And it was like on a jam shot, too. So, I wasn't even going to argue to try to stay in. I was just like, all right, that's fine. But hey, I was happy to hold them under 2 runs, and so I was totally fine with that, though.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Questions for Taylor, please. Raise your hands. Chris.
Nice jersey.
Oh, weird.
So, at the beginning of the season, you were pretty open about the fact that you wanted to be a starter again. And we talked to you a little while ago, and you were saying stuff like you don't set a lot of goals for yourself. But after a day like today, wanting to get back to being a starter, what does a day like today do for you? For whether it be your confidence, your mentality, your psyche, whatever it is, what does a day like today do for you?
I think it was huge. Just continuing trying to grow, and just more so just trying to impose my will on people. Trying to just come after teams aggressive, because I know for a fact in the big leagues, when you face teams multiple times, like I have with the Astros and like with the Mariners as well, they kind of know what I'm gonna do. So I kind of gotta can't afford any mistakes, but just trying to just be aggressive. I think that's something I've learned in the big leagues, mainly in the bullpen, just continue to be aggressive against guys. But, just trusting my stuff, everything I've worked on, everything we've added, and, all the pitches and stuff like that, to just continue trusting it. And, I'm a pretty big risk taker. So, whenever I first started throwing my sinker, I threw it against Seattle for the first time. I didn't know what was going on. And so I've been working on a new grip as well with the slider, and that was the first time I threw it today. So I didn't really, I was kind of just trusting it and kind of just going after it.
Just about to ask you, because Chris Woodward mentioned the different slider that pitching coaches work on. Can you kind of go through how you guys came up with that, and what from up here we can't really see. Were you looking for more horizontal break, more a vertical break? What kind of difference are you looking for with that pitch, and how it can play off your fastball?
Just more horizontal break. The slider I threw was pretty hard, and I liked it. And they kind of told me that they were like, we want you to keep it. But they had brought up the idea hey, we want to try this other one to help continue to get my slider more consistent. And so it's just another pitch to add. And, I really didn't know what to expect out of it today, because, it's a little different when you're throwing it in bullpens to throwing it to batters. So, you kind of got to learn, where to gauge it and where to start it at. So, I kind of got a little feel today.
Kennedy.
Hey, Taylor, I feel like we ask you this every time after you start, since they've been building you up, but how are you feeling physically? Obviously going a career high, 89 pitches and a career long in terms of innings.
Feeling really good. Today, I know I didn't even look. I think it was 88, 89 pitches or something like that. So honestly, I felt really good where I could have gone out for another inning or two, and I was feeling good. Just, it was just a lot of stuff that I've been working on to try to get back in my routine to help me physically maintain my velocity and just not get tired physically. So I feel really good today, though.
Things, I guess, that you've been working on to, keep it going through the full, however long they extend you.
What was the first part? You cut out.
What are those things that you said you were working on, some things getting back into your routine? What are those things that you were working on?
Mainly just conditioning stuff, just some of the stuff I've always done. I do a bunch of pull workouts as well in between starts, after bullpens and stuff like that. Just stuff to give my legs a breather, but just continue to push them through when they're tired. in situations like that. So, I don't really get tired or get winded, like, start leaving stuff over the plate, to can still come after those guys.
Levi.
All right, so I'm curious about this slider. You said you liked your old one, trying out a new one. Is there a chance that at some point you're just going to have two sliders and we're going to have to figure out a way to differentiate between both of those?
So, basically, I hate to say it like that, but yeah, it's going to be, one slower, one harder. And I've done a really good job of manipulating the velocity on them. So, I threw both of them today. So, it's just something I can have in my back pocket. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a curveball or something like that. But I always felt like a guy like me, where the ball comes out of my hand, it was so hard for me to throw a curveball. And so that's kind of why, going through the minor leagues, I was always a predominantly fastball changeup guy because that's all I knew. And I would always be able to throw a breaking ball, but I couldn't throw it consistently. And so it's always been something. It's always good to have multiple. So for me, have a harder one and a regular softer one. I'll take that all day though.
So just to clarify, the one today more horizontal break. That's the softer one, and then the harder one is the one you've had for a while.
Yeah. And honestly, the harder one may turn out to be a cutter too as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man.
Anything else? Okay. That will conclude our post-game Zooms today. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening. So please go ahead. Questions? We'll start with Chris.
Adolis, obviously that grand slam had to feel good. Just can you kind of go through what you've been, any kind of adjustments that you've been making at the plate, and especially to be able to get the results like you got today? How good does that feel?
Creo que he estado haciendo ajustes en lo que es mi zona de bateo, tratando de solamente hacer buenos contactos y batear la bola que esté en zona, y es en eso lo que estoy trabajando, y gracias a Dios están saliendo las cosas.
Yeah, he says he's been working on hitting the ball in his zone and focusing on making sure that he doesn't miss his pitch. And so that's basically what he's been trying to do lately, and it seems to be working.
Adolis, how encouraging is it that you are being able to make these adjustments within the season at this level?
Creo que es algo fundamental porque ya todos los equipos se ajustan a mí y están tratando, ¿sabes?, de encontrarme las deficiencias, y creo que he tenido que estudiar mucho, hablar mucho con los coaches, y creo que todos me están ayudando mucho con eso porque este es el mejor nivel de béisbol y creo que hay que hacer los ajustes lo más rápido posible.
Yeah, that is the fundamental part of hitting, is to be able to make adjustments in season. He's been spending a lot of time with the coaches, talking to the coaches, making sure that he's making the adjustments, because as he adjusts, the league adjusts to him. And so that is part of becoming a big leaguer, part of being successful.
When you talk about not missing your pitches, what's the key to that? Is it your timing? Is it you just recognizing it?
Reconocer y seguir el plan, ¿sabes? Todo el juego, tratar de tener el plan y ir a ejecutarlo.
Yeah, recognize the pitch and follow the plan, and then really make sure that he follows the plan that was given.
Thank you, Adolis.
Thank you.
Kennedy.
Hey, Adolis, I'm curious, for the offense as a whole, you guys really kind of ran Greinke and Abreu out of there. What was really working so well what was the game plan going into this game against their pitchers?
No, creo que en el meeting hablamos de, ¿sabes?, de atacar nuestros picheos, ¿sabes?, la zona de strike, que son buenos tiradores, y solamente tratar de poner la bola en juego, ir a batear la zona de strike, y creo que eso fue lo que todo el equipo hizo y salió el buen juego.
Yeah, the game plan was to make sure that they attack the zone, because these guys were going to be around the plate. These guys throw a lot of strikes. And so the plan was to attack the zone and not miss the pitches in the zone. And it seemed like everybody came together today.
You hit a grand slam?
No entendí.
¿Y que metiste un grand slam?
Oh, sí, contento por eso, y creo que era lo que me faltaba, una de las cosas que me faltaba este año.
Yeah, he's very happy because that's one of the things that he was looking forward to and to accomplish this year, is to hit a grand slam.